Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about Barcelona and the Nike deal. It has been said that the saga is done and Barcelona are set to receive 158 million euros on signing bonus. It's going to be huge and we are going to go into greater detail on this topic later in the video. We're also going to be talking about the players that will be going to the Nations League, which is going to be Pedri, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, Casado, and others. And then lastly, we are going to be predicting and talking about the match between Real Sociedad and FC Barcelona. What are the weaknesses of Real Sociedad and how should Barcelona line up against this team, which they are going to be facing each other on Sunday. So there's plenty to discuss for today's video. There's a lot going on, a lot of changes going on behind the scenes. And so let's first talk about the signing bonus that Barcelona will be receiving by Nike. And it says here, according to Fernando Polo, that Barcelona to have a 158 million signing bonus for the renewal with Nike. It is fully done. All sources in the press have confirmed it. And it was also reported earlier from other sources claiming it can be confirmed that after months, a final agreement between Nike and Barcelona has been reached following today's meeting. There was also another report that came up before that stated the board of directors have finally approved the new agreement with Nike following an emergency meeting earlier today. The only thing that's currently missing, which I'm assuming is done, is the Nike signatures. And I remember Joan Laporte that said about 3 or 4 months ago when everybody was asking him what happened to the Nike deal. We thought that the Nike deal was supposed to be done in order for us to sign new players like Nico Williams, Dani Olmo, and other players like a brand new left back, a brand new striker, because we were expected to receive a lot of money and get 4 to 5 new players in. But then we saw that the deal could not be finished in time. And Joan Laporte had to come out and say, hey, look, like we were working on this, but we felt like we needed more time. And because we couldn't finish this in time for the transfer window of summer 2024, we're just going to be taking our time now and really perfect this deal with Nike for the next 2 or 3 months. And now fast forward 2 to 3 months and the deal is done. And now with 158 million euros being injected to this club, what type of players is Barcelona going to be signing? For sure, Barcelona will be eligible to go to the 1-1 rule that has been made by Javier Tebas, meaning that for the money that we do receive, right, that amount can be spent on other players. So if Barcelona do decide to go for Nico Williams, whether it's in January in the winter transfer window or maybe in the summer, they can go for him. If they do decide to go for Gyökeres from Sporting CP, they can go for him. Now remember, right, like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like if Barcelona wanted to go for Gyökeres in January, we also have to remember that Gyökeres has his own opinions. Sporting CP may want him because they are in the Champions League and they're doing very well. So it's not like we can just pull whoever and they're going to automatically say yes. Well, we also have to consider the fact that these players also have emotions attached to their teams and we just don't know what they're going to be saying. But Barcelona do have that capability now. Honestly, I would not be surprised if we hear in about 2 or 3 months, right, that Barcelona will be going for, actually not 2 or 3 months, I meant to say 2 and 3 weeks. I would not be surprised if Barcelona go for Nico Williams in the January transfer window, which will be held in about a month and a half. Because the reason why Barcelona could not achieve the signing of Nico Williams is because Nico and the agent were scared. They were scared because they thought that Barcelona could not register them and that it was going to be too hectic. And then you combine that with the factor of his brother saying that you should just stay here and represent Athletic Club for another season and maybe win a couple of trophies because, Athletic Club will be facing against us in the Copa del Rey or in the Spanish Super Cup in January. And they're going to want to win that title. But, if they get knocked out from that title, that competition, right, in January, could that mean that Nico Williams might be saying, okay, enough is enough. I've spent enough time here. Let me just fast forward the process and join Barcelona in January because Barcelona are coming in with a very strong offer. Barcelona could do that. What if they could do that? I would not be surprised. I would also really welcome the signing of Nico Williams. Like, yes, he's not the best solution. Like, yes, there's others out there that can strengthen us, but Nico Williams coming in to reinforce the left wing position is very much needed because look, I know that Rafinha is a player that we love, right? We adore. He brings goals, he brings assists, but here's the thing. If Rafinha gets injured, then what's going to happen next? Like, what's going to happen next? We don't have a backup plan to Rafinha. Like, yes, Rafinha is great. Like, I don't see any other left winger replacing him right now and coming to this team. But like, if Rafinha gets injured tomorrow or in the next 2 or 3 weeks, which is very much likely because any player can get injured, what are we doing next? Who are we putting in that position? Barcelona will be screwed. Like, you're going to tell me that Ansu, who is trying to get back into rhythm, is he going to be the answer immediately? No. Is it going to be Ferran Torres, a player that does not even see the pitch anymore? Who's going to be in that position? So I do think that, bringing in Nico Williams would make a lot of sense and really solidify us in the attack, right? Really give us that insurance and that reassurance that Barcelona will be okay if a couple of injuries do happen in the attacking area. Lastly, about this whole Nike deal, I also want to congratulate Joan Laporta, and I am going to be making a separate video about Joan Laporta and his era at Barcelona, right? His first 3 to 4 years at this club as president. I want to congratulate him for doing such a great job. He has been doing a phenomenal job. I remember the amount of things people were saying about Joan Laporta over the past 2 or 3 years, saying that he's not doing a good job, top, that Barcelona are still financially struggling. Like, really take a step back and look at what Barcelona have been through since 2021. We have strengthened ourselves. Maybe not at the speed that we have wanted, because many fans wanted success immediately after he got elected, but we are here now, and Barcelona are much stronger. We're bringing results. Hansi Flick is doing wonders. He hired him, right? Joan Laporta hired Hansi Flick. He brought in Deco, right? The one sporting director that brought in the correct players to make us better this season. He also brought in Xavi Hernandez, right? A coach that really transitioned us and created that foundation for Hansi Flick to thrive. Joan Laporta has been doing so many things, so many great things, and he's only going to get better from here, right? This Nike deal is almost like the cherry on top. I still think that he has one more thing to do after this Nike deal, and that is to bring in a world-class, big-time player to show to the world that Barcelona can make big transfers happen again. So now, stepping away from that, right, I also want to speak about the Nations League and the players that will be in the Nations League that do play for FC Barcelona. We're going to be focusing on only Spanish players. So it is going to be Pedri, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, and Casado. It's very surprising because Casado is being called up to the senior team for the first time, and I believe that he does deserve it. Casado really stepped up for Barcelona's starting defensive midfielder by providing 5 assists. We have talked about Casado so many times. I don't think you guys need an introduction on this player. Casado has been phenomenal in terms of intercepting, tackling, being very intense. He can provide assists in very, tough moments. He does come up when Barcelona are struggling. And Casado might be just the one. He might be the player that Barcelona have been looking for since Sergio Busquets left. I know that we still have Bernal, maybe Gavi might have something to say, but Casado's just a different monster. Luis de la Fuente also said, Casado has reached the Spanish senior squad thanks to his professionalism, work, and talent. He has responded very well to the maximum demands. And so whatever you do ask for Casado to do, Casado does that. So congratulations to Casado, and I believe that he will be outperforming his expectations when he does play in the Nations League. As for Gavi's not there because he's still trying to get into the momentum, right? The rhythm, the tempo. He's not fully fit yet. Hansi Flick even said, I'll start Gavi once he is fully fit and he shows me that he is ready, because, there is no flowers given here, right? You're not going to be like, okay, just because your name is Gavi, you're automatically going to be starting. Hansi Flick does not do that. Hansi Flick says, you know what? Like, I know that, you're great. People adore you, but you need to show me first why you deserve to be in the 11, because you know what? Casado and Pedri are playing better than you. Hansi Flick is doing that. You can even see through the videos, right? Like, Hansi Flick has been trying to test Gavi on push-ups. Hansi Flick himself was doing push-ups and he's like, look, bro, I'm doing more than you. Well, why don't you do that? And Gavi was like, okay. And like, he feeds off that energy. So like, he's testing him, he's training him. He wants him to do well. So it is going to be taking some time. And I believe that Luis de la Fuente was looking at that and saying, okay, Gavi may not be ready. There's other ones out here that are better, like Zubimendi, Merino, Dani Olmo, Pedri, Casado, obviously. And so yeah, Gavi will be at Barcelona training under Hansi Flick for the next 2 weeks after the match against Real Sociedad. As for Pau Cubarsí, like, yes, we could see Pau Cubarsí start against Real Sociedad, but Luis de la Fuente said that Cubarsí, he understands that he should not be taking any risk. He does have a literal face injury, right? His face is all cut up. He looks like Frankenstein. He looks like Jason or whoever like these characters are, like, or how they look. Cubarsí is all cut up, so he's not going to be partaking in the Nations League. Now, if we look at the forward list, you can see that Morata, Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams is also going to be there, players that we do know, right? But then if you look at this one player named Samu, I want to introduce this player because maybe there could be a chance that Barcelona could be linked with him in the very near future. I don't know if he's starting material yet, but he could be great backup material. Samu is a player that is 20 years old, and he has been called up to the Spanish senior squad for the first time in his career, and I believe that he deserved it, just like Casado, because in his season so far with Porto, he has played 12 matches and scored 11 goals. This is really good because if you look at his history and what he has done with Atletico Madrid, with Alaves, he has not been so great. Like, he's a 6'4" center forward. He's very tall for his age, but his history has not been that great. He grew with Granada, and then up until the summer of 2023, he moved to Atletico Madrid, right? Atletico Madrid did buy him, but they immediately loaned him out to Alaves in the same summer. Alaves then, they sent Samu back to Atletico Madrid in the summer of 2024, and Atletico Madrid yet again just sold him outright. He spent no time with Atletico Madrid at all. You can imagine, right? Samu at the age of 18, 19 years old was expecting for him to get like some minutes under Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid because, he was excited. He was a kid, but he never got that chance. And he was immediately sent to Porto in August 2024 and solidified that move for a total of 15 million euros. But like I said, like, I understand why Atletico Madrid would do such a thing, right? Because first of all, they needed to obey the financial restrictions that they were placed upon by Javier Tebas. They were bringing in Julian Alvarez. They had other plans, and also he was underperforming. With Alaves in that loan deal, he scored 8 goals and provided 1 assist in 35 matches. It's not the best. So I can see why he was sent to Porto. And I believe that for him, Samu, he was a little angry, a little frustrated. Now he wants to prove a point, and now he's doing it. 12 games, 11 goals. That is amazing. He's averaging a goal every 73.8 minutes across the league and the Europa League this season. He has 11 games played, 9 starts, 30 shots, 15 shots on target. So every other shot that he takes, it is on target. And like I said, he does have 11 goals. This is going to be a player that I believe Barcelona might keep an eye on, right? Because if he does well in the Nations League, most likely everybody's going to be talking about him. The hype is going to be real. It is highly likely that we could see a front three of Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, and Samu. Now, lastly, let's talk about the match between Real Sociedad and FC Barcelona. Now, this is going to be the last match before the international break. It's crazy to see that Zubimendi will be facing Casado, right? Two players that have been called up by Luis de la Fuente. It's going to be very exciting. Let's see who is the definitive central defensive midfielder, because Barcelona were interested in Zubimendi. Xavi didn't want him. Xavi said, I want Zubimendi because he sees nobody else that can replace Sergio Busquets, but now we have Casado, who is making a name for himself. So to see these two players go up against each other, it's going to be awesome for every Barcelona fan. Now, if you look at the matches that they have played so far this season, they have not been at their best. You can tell that in the first 2 or 3 months, they have been really rocky. They have only gotten 1 win in their first 8 matches in all competitive competitions, and that was against Espanyol that ended 0-1. The rest were losses and ties. But then if you look at the other matches from September 28th up until yesterday against Victoria Pleasant, they now gotten a couple of wins, not at their best form yet, but still, they're getting better, slowly getting better. 3-0 win against Valencia, we got a 1-0 win against Girona, 2-1 win against Maccabi, and a 2-0 win against Sevilla. There's a couple of losses here and there, like the 2-1 against in the Europa League, the 2-0 loss against Osasuna, and they just lost against Victoria Pleasant 2-1. So if we analyze this team in La Liga right now, they are a very low scoring team, averaging 0.8 goals per 90 minutes. That puts them in 16th place in La Liga. Barcelona is in first. Their average possession though is 58.9. It is the second best in the league and right below FC Barcelona. But the thing is that Barcelona are like in first place and by a mile. They average 67% possession, but they're still second best in the league. So that does tell us a lot on how they do retain the ball. They have a great clean sheet stat. They have a total of 6 clean sheets, tied with Atletico Madrid in first place in La Liga. So you can just tell, right, that this team that is managed by Imanol, they're defensively very disciplined, but they fail to find goals in the attacking third. They know how to retain the ball. They know how to defend their side, but they don't know how to score. And it's surprising because Imanol, who has been a great coach for this team, he knows how to get this team to score a lot of goals. But for some reason this season, they can't find solutions. And look at the stats from last season for them. They were ranked in 7th place when it comes to goals per match by averaging 1.3. Real Madrid were in first by 2.3, and then you had Girona at 2.2 because of their amazing season. So they were obviously scoring a lot of goals. And then when it comes to goals conceded per match, they were also very defensively aware, ranked in 3rd place, only averaging 1 goal per 90 minutes. And their average possession was dropped a little from that last season to 55.6%. And I believe the reason why is because Sociedad from last season, they challenged the opposition much more. They were much more, I would say, high risk, very similar to Hansi Flick. But this season, they're playing a little more conservative. And with players like Kubo and Oyarzabal, who played very amazing in the Euros, they can do much better. Maybe it could be the fact that Mikel Merino left, and Mikel Merino was that player that pushed this team forward. He also scored 5 goals last season. Maybe his exit is the reason why Sociedad, from an offensive standpoint, they're not doing well, but something is up. So I believe that in this match, we should expect Sociedad to go with what they're good at. And they're going to be facing Barcelona, not with the agenda of looking for the 3 points, but with the agenda of taking away points from FC Barcelona. They're going to want to defend more. And Barcelona are going to find this as a problem, especially with what type of stadium we're going to go into and the fans, right? They're going to be loud. They're going to be cheering. They're going to be mocking FC Barcelona. So it's going to be tough. They're going to be similar vibes to Osasuna. And then you combine Zubimendi, who has been defensively really good, and Zubeldia, another great center back that Sociedad do have. It's going to be tough to get through them. I expect Kubarsi to play on our defensive side. Like, I really do. I know that it does seem very worrying that, his face is all cut up, but it has been said, according to Ferran Martinez, that a mask is being prepared for Pau Kubarsi. He will try it tomorrow in training. If the feelings are good, he could even start. So I do expect him to start. If not, maybe we could see Koundé in the center back position with Inigo Martinez, with Hector Fort taking on the right back position. But like I said, I believe that Kubarsi will be in the 11, and so this is going to be the 11 that we should all expect to see on Sunday night. Peña in goal, it's going to be full force, right? It's going to be the strongest 11 that Barcelona can place right now. Koundé, right back position, Kubarsi, Inigo Martinez, center back duo, Alejandro Balde, left back position. For our double pivot, it is going to be Pedri and Casado. I believe that this is the best double pivot. It is not Frankie, Gavi. It is not Gavi, Pedri. It is not Casado, Frankie, which is another very used double pivot between Frankie and Casado by Hansi Flick, but the best one, it is Pedri and Casado. It is by by far better than any other alternatives that we do have. And then our attacking four is going to be Lamine Yamal on the right wing position, Dani Olmo as the attacking midfielder, and Rafinha on the left wing position with Lewandowski up top. This is the strongest 11 that we can place, and we have to place the strongest 11. There's no reason for us to rotate, have Fermin Lopez in the 11. I know that he does well, right? But Dani Olmo, when he's playing in the number 10 position, he flourishes. He is the true number 10, the most perfect 10 that Hansi Flick could ever ask for, and that is going to allow for Pedri to be in his most comfortable position, which is the second highest midfielder in front of Casado but behind Dani Olmo. I believe that Rafinha is also going to benefit a lot from this because the service that he's going to be getting from either Casado or Olmo is going to be top. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.